Hello, everybody. I am hoping that you can't hear what's going on in the background there, but if you can, that is um, a lawnmower going out in the field. Um, the ride on the guy is mowing the grass over there. Um, but hello, and how are you? I came in from work a little while ago, a little bit stressed, so I am I'm gonna work a little bit on this diamond painting, and I did work a little bit off camera. Here I filled in her leg, and so I'm going to finish this right here and then try to work on some of this over in here. So we're going to need number 8. We are going to need uh, number 43, which is a fairy dust drill. We are going to need number 6. That is the equal sign. What is the minus sign? Is number 28. And I keep changing my setup to kind of see what works. And I have you kind of zoomed out a little bit, but I want you to see the colors that I'm gonna use. Number 7 and number 9. And I might as well grab number 2 while I'm at it, which is an AB. This is an AB, and you can see the shimmer, the AB coating on it. So I think that's what we're going to work with today. Um, oh, didn't mean to bump you. I have this a little bit close. I'm a lefty, so I kind of put my setup here on the right hand side of me. Um, Now that's going to irritate me. 2, 7, 28, and 43. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you had a great day. My Monday was Mondaying. Um, I am in my office by myself. My secretary is out out on medical. So I've been by myself for almost almost 3 months now. So, um, I have it temporarily become the judicial secretary along with the pay since I'm doing the work. But it is just temporary right now. Um, I don't know what's going on, but I wish her to get better. We share the same birthday. We're both Leos, and our birthdays are coming up. Um, but I just wish her well, and I look forward to her coming back to work. But if her health doesn't allow it, then I wish her all the best. Um, but I understand. I do understand. Um, but we're making it. Um, it can be a little trying sometimes. That's just because the workflow never stops. It never stops. It may slow down, but I haven't experienced even a slowdown really. So the caseload is heavy, but family court always is because I say when you're dealing with families, you deal more with emotions than you do anything else because it's families. I'm going to slide you down so you can see where I am working at, which is in this area right here. I'm doing the 310s, which is black outline right in here. It's not much black in this picture. Surprisingly, there is not a lot of black. I have pictures that were some artwork is dark, so there's a lot of 310. But I love colors. But you need that darkness to bring out what colors you do have in the pictures. So I don't mind it. I think it just enhances. So somebody's music is thumping really loud. I don't see how you can drive around with that loud music like that. But you know, I'm getting older, so I guess that might be me because I know we used to ride around like that when we were younger with the loud music and the speakers, built into the back of your car. But I think people are paying the price now because you walking around saying, "Huh, huh, huh," what you say? So yeah, and I just say, they used to ride around with them blasting speakers in the back of their cars, and now they can't hear nothing. That is Cannon. Cannon is oh, Cannon is one of our dogs, and she is barking at the landscaper, and he is over there cutting down a giant weed. Yeah, that has really grown. Now, I told y'all the other day about lightning striking a tree in the backyard, and I just I gotta show you guys. I just want you to see what happened to the tree yesterday. So I'm gonna pan you around. Sorry if you get a little sick. That is where lightning struck the tree. And if you can see right here, the tree has come down, a part of the tree. The other part is still up. Like ain't nothing wrong. But we have um we have somebody coming to clear it out. And but yeah, that is what happened there. So you can see the scorch marks, the lightning just struck right down in it and just, yeah, it's horrible. But back to what we're doing over here. I had to show you guys that. And I'll show you guys like my, um, the field by my house where the deer come out, and maybe we'll be able to get a shot like once the gardener is done, because the deer usually come out, um, or landscaper, gardener, I don't know what I would call him, but um, yeah. So once he leaves and all that noise is gone, then the deer will come out. So maybe I can get a shot of them out there in the field. They come pretty close to my house, like, and my neighbor across from us, uh, they just go into his backyard now. They didn't used to do that, but now they do, and sometimes they'll go and eat out of his bird feeder. It is so funny. He has a bird bath that's in the front of his house, and they'll go and that's the train. Mm. Unfortunately, I can't plan my taping around these things because it's just random. The train comes when it wants to come. So I can't like say, okay, I'm gonna have to pause you at X time because the train, they just come when they want to come. I live not too far from the Delaware River and the Delaware Memorial Bridge is not even 3 minutes from my house. So um yeah, we get a lot of boat traffic, and then you have trains, and the docks are probably 5 minutes down the road. So yeah, we get a lot going on around here. So yeah, so as long as I'm diamond painting outside, you'll hear planes, trains, and automobiles, I'm guessing. What a pretty blue. This is a pretty light blue. Oh, crap. It's very comfortable out here right now. Um, it is not hot and I am in the shade. And you know what? I'm going to pause you for a moment and I'm going to put my tripod up on the table because I just keep bumping it with my foot. Um, and it's just going to keep, I'm just going to keep doing it. I already know it. So I'm going to pause you for a moment while I fix this. There we are. So hopefully I have a good angle for you. Um, I am still testing different angles to see what works and what doesn't work, and it is a process of elimination. In the meantime, I want to run my mouth, so we're going to figure it out together. So, I did continue to read my book last night. I went to bed late because I wasn't really tired, like sleepy tired, but um, my body needed to rest, but I wasn't sleepy. And I can't force myself to sleep when I'm not sleepy. I just, it doesn't work that way. And for people who can fall asleep like at the drop of a hat, like I find myself like sitting on the couch and like if I'm trying to watch a movie or something, I'll doze off and the movie will be watching me. But I've been doing that more and more lately. But I really don't watch television um, anymore. I don't know what that is, but I don't like if I'm sitting with my sister and she's watching something, like we'll watch something together and like I was just upstairs watching Big Bang Theory, which is one of our favorite shows. And there are still episodes of that show that I have not seen. And as much as I thought I was a faithful Big Bang Theory watcher, like, but there are still episodes. It's the same thing for Seinfeld for me. Like, I absolutely love Seinfeld. And so much so I purchased the DVD and I watched Seinfeld at the drop of a hat. Um, and another one is an old show called In the Heat of the Night. Like I watched that. I watched that like my sister watches Law and Order. um, but yeah, I don't really watch TV like I used to. Um, and I miss it, but I don't. I used to faithfully watch the news, and now I'm obsessed with Rachel Maddow. So I do watch her, but she's only down to one night a week, which is Mondays. And every once in a while, you'll get us like a special where she'll be on, and she's on MSNBC or MS Now. They changed the name to. But other than that, like, I don't really watch the news. I might catch something in passing. Um, but it's like, I don't know. I want to watch stuff that makes me feel good, and the news does not make me feel good. I want to stay informed, but when there's just so much BS and everything else in the world, like, and my time and what I choose to spend my time doing is precious to me. And I can get so riled up when I see injustice. It just sickens me. And there's just too much of it going on. So I limit my intake of, um, I, I don't know. I can't do it. Life is too short, and I keep saying that because it really is. It really, really is. And I would be rather doing something that puts a smile on my face than worrying, constantly building my anxiety. Yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. And I vote, and I do jury duty, and I vote in my local elections, and I vote in the national elections. I do my part, but when you do your part, it can be a little disheartening when you think that, you know, what is this world trying to backpedal for? And then I see, people are so gullible. That's what gets me, is that when somebody shows you who they are, and they tell you who they are, you still find ways to justify the actions that you know are wrong, but you do it out of spite. And that's exactly what it is. It's done out of spite, because people are so scared that one person is going to have more than what they have, or they feel like somebody's going to take their power. And when all 99, 98 to 99% of people are just trying to live their life, take care of their families, or be able to do something that brings them joy. But you're stuck working more and more and more and more and more and more. And for what? I mean, you're working yourself into the ground, and you don't get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. And I don't think that the people who pay the price for us to enjoy the freedoms that we do, I don't believe that it's fair not to take care of them. And so, I'll give you my take on veterans and the elderly. I think that veterans and the elderly should be taken care of without a doubt. Like there should be laws in place that take care of our elderly and our veterans, people who risk their lives and people who built this country, because it's not the rich that built this country. It is not the wealthy, and they still don't build this country because they don't spend money. They don't spend their money. They live off of the interest that their money makes. They don't actually stimulate the economy at all. It's working people who do it. And when they want you to be sheep, and they don't want you to realize that you have power in that. Because if too many people woke up and realized that, oh, then we would have a crisis. Because who's going to stand for it? Who's going to stand for it? If I'm working hard, I should be enjoying what I'm working for. So, yeah. Oh, I have a couple of odd ones like this one. And then there's a J in there, and then there's two fours. Uh, but I figure I will just get these in here. So right now what I'm doing is just single placing these. Um, Sometimes I'll go back, like I have a tool that you just run down your drills to straighten them up. But with rounds, you really don't have to worry about them. They kind of just, work. Like you can go through with that little tool to even up your lines, which I do when I'm done. Um, or like halfway done, I'll go in and try to straighten up the lines. Um, but I don't really do that much extra. Like you have some people where it has to be placed perfectly, and there are some spots on my canvas that, um, as long as they're not lifting, they're not over top of each other. I pretty much don't worry about it because they kind of even themselves out. So I don't really worry about that. But you have, some people need to have their drills lined up perfectly. So And I get it. But yeah, that ain't what I do. The picture is going to be beautiful once it's completed, and that's what I care about. I need to put more wax in my multiplacer here because it's starting to get a little, but I hate having to wear down new wax. Oh, I hate it because it gets on the drills and it is just so ick. The new wax when you refill, even no matter what you do, it's gonna get on the drills. It's just going to. That's just a you know a part of this, but yeah, it can get frustrating. I'm just gonna fill these in because I don't want to miss them. What is J? J is number 12, 11, and 12. And then we have 3 dots, and that's number 19. Which is number 823. And I think I only have one of those. Yeah. 18, 19. And then this little guy, who is number 26. 25, 26. And then the rest are twos, which is not a problem because I already have them out. And then let me get this gray back in. So I'll keep these open when I open up this because a lot of these are over here as well. Um, Dragonfly is buzzing me over here. So I made myself burgers for dinner last night, and I had these little herb and chive potatoes that come in a little metal dish, and you can cook them on the barbecue or you can put them in the oven. And I put them in the oven on like 400 degrees for like a half hour, 45 minutes or so. And they're just these little potatoes, and you put the seasoning You put half the seasoning on it, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and let it cook. And then once it cooks, once it's done, you just kind of mix them up, and then you just throw the rest of the seasoning on it. But I took them out, and I took a mason jar and smashed some of them. So I made smashed potatoes, and oh my god, they were so delicious. And that's also what I had for lunch today, because I was good and packed my lunch. So, um, yeah, even though when I'm at work, a lot of times I'll go out and I'll eat lunch outside. But today I had so much work that I had to eat lunch at my desk. So I just threw it in the toaster oven at work, and for half an hour, and it was good. It was good. So I'm trying to be better about um making my food, as opposed to um constantly eating out. I'm trying to do better, trying to make better choices, but I'll tell you, it is definitely hard because you pay for the convenience. But I have also noticed that sometimes I'm not hungry, and I can't eat when I'm not hungry. Even though you should eat when you should eat on a constant set schedule or something, but I can't eat when I'm not hungry. So, um, I can't force myself, because then I'll feel sick to my stomach. Um, and I suffer from reflux. So, yeah, that's a joy. Um, but I didn't get good news from my doctor, who basically told me that I can't eat white food. So it is impossible to pick up these ABs with this um thing. Like, it's not working half the time. But anyway, yeah, he told me like rice and potatoes and uh um bread and sugar. I'm not supposed to have these things. So my response to that was, well, shit, dig a hole and put me in it. You won't want me to eat potatoes and rice, because yeah, I look, it that but I mean, I was kind of, bucking back on that. Um, like, when he said that, like, my whole world just shattered. Like, no rice, no potatoes. You're kidding me, right? I mean, if you'd have told me to give up red meat, I would have did that like at the drop of a hat. Like, I gave up red meat for Lent one time, and next thing I know, it was like 2 years later. But yeah, I didn't even I didn't miss it. I didn't really miss it. Um, it wasn't until I think it was like a hormonal change where I started to crave a steak and bacon, but that was it. Like that was what did it. I caved to fucking bacon and steak. But that's what ended my no red meat. But it's a lot easier than you think to go, without red meat. But I would have preferred him telling me that than to tell me I can't eat no potatoes and no rice. And I understand, but my boss said something to me that has kind of been sticking with me, and it's kind of changing the way that I'm thinking about um my health, because one of her favorite sayings is your health is your wealth. And you hear that or whatever, and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. But then she said something to me that was so profound that it literally made me stop and think about it, what I was doing to my body. Because she said, and she had heard it from someone else, but it stuck with her. And what it was the person said, your body will always take its due, either in discipline or suffering. Your body will always take its due, either in discipline or suffering. And I had to think about what it meant. And to me, it means that if you discipline your body by giving it the fuel that it needs and the healthy stuff that it needs to function, it's going to be there for you. But if you don't, oh, you're going to suffer. So I don't want to suffer anymore. I am living through perimenopause right now, and I'm living through freaking back pain, and I have two titanium plates and 8 screws in my left, no, my right ankle. And I'll tell y'all that story another day because it is freaking hilarious. But anyway, it wasn't hilarious at the time, but it kind of was. But yeah, and I am dealing with the things that come with age, the arthritis and the and then the stuff that you deal with getting older as a woman. And I will tell you that if they give you a choice, if they would have gave me a choice, knowing what I know now, what I wanted to come back as, it would not have been a woman. Okay? It would not have been a female of any species or type or it Yeah, no, because we get a raw deal. We get a raw deal from the time that we are teens, sometimes adolescents. Our bodies fight us constantly. It is a raw deal. That's just, I don't even know what else to call it. I don't know if you got another name for it. Just tell me what it. We're screwed. Okay, we are screwed because your period goes on from the time you first get it until you are in your 60s or 70s. But your body is still doing shit to you in between time and then after. The female body doesn't stop. I mean, look at look at the males. Okay, males, they hit puberty and they go through this little, they go through growth spurts, they go through voice changes, they go through, you know, the wet dream cycle, they go through um the gangly teenage stuff that they go through. But then that's it. But then that's it. Okay. Now, when they get in their 60s or 70s, they may suffer from low testosterone or something like that, and then go through, you know, you got some that go through erectile dysfunction. But that's it. That is it. So if you want to do a laundry list of what women go through, I mean, just look at it. I mean, I can tell you right now, going through perimenopause. I can tell you this. Okay, I am sweating all day, every day. Okay, I'm wearing two different deodorants, and because sometimes one fails on one arm, and you're like, oh my god, what the hell is that? But sometimes it fails on one arm, and you know, weird. And then at night, I wake up 3, 4 times a night to get up to go to the bathroom and then lay back down again. Now, if the house is not at the right temperature, when I fall asleep, I'm up. I am up. And this shit starts at 2:30 on the nose. And my body takes into account freaking daylight savings time. How? How does it do that? And then I have excess hair growing. I have to deal with, you know, inflated gut. Like, I'm just, added cortisol that just builds around, you know, where you get a fupa. I don't have a fupa. I have a freaking spare tire hanging around that I am lugging every goddamn day. I'm telling you, and you're human, so you shed hair. You shed hair. But when I comb out my hair because my hair is naturally curly. I don't have I don't perm it or anything. There's no chemicals in my hair, and I haven't had any chemicals in my hair in years. It's been almost 20 years. So I'm all natural on my hair. And when I tell you the amount of hair that comes out, I'm surprised that I wasn't bald 2 years ago. Every time, every time, every time, every time, every time. And you can do things to alleviate or try to alleviate some of the symptoms. I do the vitamins and the black cohosh, and you do the sea moss, and you do uh the collagen, and you do the biotin, and uh there are numerous things out here that you can try to give you some relief from all of this. But damn, can I get a break? Can I get a break? I don't want nobody to touch me. I don't want nobody to breathe in my direction. Some days it is a feat of strength and will, and by the grace of God, that I have not murdered somebody because my fuse is probably about yay long. You like stupidity grates on my nerves. So, yeah, I have zero patience, and I don't think that half the time should be allowed outside because right now I feel feral. I feel feral. And, I honestly could see how in this state that our bodies are in and go through, that women snap and lose their damn minds. I mean, hey, I could see it. I could see it. The men that divorce their wives because they say, "Oh, she changed. She's not the same woman." You damn right, she not. You damn right, she's not. If you had all this going on, you wouldn't be the same woman either. You wouldn't be the same person. So give her some grace. So, ladies, I say all this to say, fuck it. Life's too short. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Because we got enough to deal with. And then they won't even pass a women's rights bill. And the women who don't back it just disgust me because how dare you? How dare you? We outnumber men in this world. Why are we not in power? We outnumber them at least 2 to 1. At least. And in some countries, it's more than that. It's more than that. So how are we not in power? How? How do we let someone dictate what we can do with our bodies? They're not, they have no concept of what we go through. They couldn't fathom if a man had to deal with cramps, we would have never evolved. We would have never evolved. Like it would have, there would have been one child born if a man would have had to carry the children. There would have been one. We would have died out. Okay. Human existence would be no more after the first one. Because they can't do that. They can't carry life and shoulder what we shoulder to be able to do that. And I had two. I was traumatized after the first one. My mother had eight. I am convinced she was crazy. I I I I I am convinced, you can't tell me no different, that she lost her ever loving mind at some point to do that eight times. My grandmother had eight. My grandmother had eight. So whatever infected my mother, my grandmother also suffered from it. But, I don't know if that was short term memory loss. I, 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 I don't know. But yeah, mm-mm. Trauma, trauma. I just thinking about it, just thinking about the swollen ankles and the back pain and, the with my son, I was mean. I was mean because I was pregnant during the summer, all summer long. I was miserable. His birthday's in September, so you can imagine. But I was miserable. It got so bad that if you came into my apartment and you like move the remote control, you were likely to get your head, bit off because wherever you moved it to, I would have to get up and go and get it. And I was so mean. My sister, my oldest sister, Donita, told me, she said, when you have this baby, I'm going to kick your ass. Boy, that tells you how mean I was. I said, she threatened physical injury to me once I had that baby. So yeah, can't no man tell me nothing. You can't tell me what to do with my body. I earned anything that I want to do to it. I earned that right by living in it. Women don't try to tell men what to do with their bodies. You don't tell them, we don't tell them, oh, you know, you gotta suffer through, you know, erectile dysfunction. No, you fuck go get a pill and fix it. Like we don't tell men that they can't do certain things. Like we don't tell them that they can't go sleeping around and have 85 freaking babies. But you gonna tell a woman that, oh, if she gets assaulted or something, then you know she gotta keep the kid. She gotta carry that trauma. The unmitigated gall. The gall. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. But man, I went on a tangent there. Let me see how much. Uh, oh, okay. Well, we're at an hour and 2 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to stop it here because that's long enough for y'all to listen to me rant, rave. But, and I got that section done, and I put down some pretty ABs on this one. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna keep working. Um, but it is getting kind of dark out here, and I don't feel like hooking up no lights or nothing like that because then the mosquitoes are gonna make a feast out of me. Um, yeah. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your physical health, and stay hydrated. Drink your water. Mind your business. All right. Bye.